Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to a brand new video. Obviously the last video I made, I didn't really give context to what that was, but I'm here to kind of tell you guys what the channel is going to be now and a video along with it. So this channel is going to be a draft league content channel for the DGBA. I'm going to be uploading some team builders and matches I play in that league, which I've been a part of now. This will be my third season a part of it. Obviously the last video you saw was the finals game from season 4. Which I'm going to spoil the result now. If you didn't go see the video, I recommend go check it out, as it's kind of just the kind of content you'll be expecting to see on this channel. We did in fact lose that game, sadly, which was a bit unfortunate, but it was still really fun going up against Cavs' undefeated team with the Nog and the Dell. So yeah, it was all good and fun then, so congrats to him. But yeah, we move on to a new season now, season 5, week 1. And yeah, I didn't do a team breakdown video or a draft breakdown video for what my team is. So I couldn't really find time to do it, but you'll see a list. You'll see a list of my team and a list of my opponent's team, every team builder, on the screen here to the side of my team. So yeah, let's go into, I guess, just my team here. Normally I won't do this, but I guess I'll say what my team is along with the list that you will see here momentarily, or maybe you've already seen it. My draft consists of Zygarde 50%. Mega Gardevoir, Scizor, Rotom Heat, Tornadus Incarnate, Weavile, Slowking, Toxicroak, Rhydon, Blissey, and Leafeon. My Z Crystal users of choice are Weavile and Leafeon, so you'll see my team there. And yeah, you're going to see my opponent's team as well. So my opponent this week, part of my division, we played 7 games in total of people in there's the Magma and Aqua Conference. I'll be them in I think that's what it is. I don't know. There's 2 conferences. I'm in one of them, and we're up against. We faced everyone in our conference once, and top 4 make it out. So the first game here, we're up against the Los Angeles Lanterns and Coach Avocado, new coach to league. So it's always fun to try and get to battle some new coaches. His team, as you can see here, consists of Mega Pinsir, Rotom Wash, Nidoqueen, Kyurem, Dhelmise, Umbreon, Mesprit, Primarina, Emboar, Magnezone, and Cinccino. His Z Crystal users of choice are Kyurem and Cinccino. So you'll see the team side to side here already. Like I probably said now 5 times. And his thoughts on his team in general. It's a pretty strong team, although I will say it is relatively slow, with Cinccino only being the fastest, and that's not going to be money he's going to bring every week. So if you don't count Cinccino's fastest one's 105, being the Mega Pinsir, and it's got a Mega Evolve. So he's put a lot of pressure on himself for his speed tiers. And he's not really got a Trick Room setter with that. He's got things, he's got like the low tier speed wall breakers in Prim and Emboar, which I know Prim very well, not as much Emboar, but those are both very solid. He's got a few good Scarf users with things like Rotom Wash, Nidoqueen, and Kyurem. I think he's got to rely on those a lot this week, or just for his games in general. And he's got an annoying. He does have kind of a wall core with like Umbreon, and you can pair it with his other things like Nidoqueen and Rotom to give them the wishes, which could be good for them. But yeah, it's a really annoying team, to say the least, but a fun team to test myself. So with this new team I draft here, a kind of team I've never really drafted before. So yeah, in terms of what I expect him to bring going into this, I kind of identified, I think, 7 mons. I expected Mega Pinsir, Rotom Wash, Nidoqueen, Dhelmise, Umbreon, Emboar, and then Magnezone. I predicted 6 of those 7 to come. The other 4 being Kyurem, Mesprit, Prim, and Cinccino. I didn't really anticipate them. I didn't really think they had a good matchup, or even if and the way I see it, if he did bring them, then he's taken away from something else that I was scared of. So, and I still have prep for it. So yeah, I predict 6 of those 7 to come. Obviously, you know, he's got to bring 6 mods. So yeah, let's go into our team here and what we're bringing. So here we got a Rhydon drilled here coming the first week. Pretty standard set, to be honest. My main answer to Pinsir, but I do have a lot of split-off points in there. That's mainly in case like Nidoqueen gets out of hand. I can take Earth Powers better. Also for Magnezone as well, I can take a Flash Cannon a bit better. I can fire for Earthquake to bop it. But this is my main answer to Pinsir. And if he doesn't end up bringing Pinsir for some reason, that's why I have the spit up there, which is nice. Rocking Earthquake. That's actually meant to be Rock Blast. My bad. That's Rock Blast, Stealth Rock, and Toxic. I think this team might be a little bit different to what I anticipated. But I think most of the sets, I think that's the only difference there, is that that's meant to be Rock Blast. That was Rock Blast in the game. With Stealth Rock and Toxic, the ability doesn't really matter. With the Eviolite, rocking pretty much max HP, max speed F, with 4 defense, Impish Nature, and then also got 4 speed points. It's very, very slim chance that that ends up mattering, but it was just in case for the Delmise. I mean, we speed tie. There's not really going to be a scenario where I want to stand versus Delmise anyway, unless it's extremely low. And he might have a little bit of speed points in there, so it was just in case he doesn't catch it, maybe, I don't know. But next up here, the reason why I don't think he's going to bring things like Kyurem and Blissey, or Kyurem and Prim, is Blissey here. Blissey just walls the hell out of him, and you can't really do anything about it. There is no... I know Prim very well. There's no Prim set that can beat Blissey. I mean, I guess he could force it out with some weird, like, Perish songs shit. You can also make some, like, weird encore set, I guess, but... I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm still sat there, and, like, what are you going to do? Like, it would work up? Like, I don't know. So, pretty standard set here, though. Seismic Toxic, Protect Soft-Boiled. The Protect there is really nice, actually. It's the Scout Scarf stuff. He's got a lot of potential Scarf for his own team, like I mentioned. Things like Rhydon with Trick. Scouting the move on Rhydon with the Protect there could be really nice, and adjust my decision accordingly. Also, Nidoqueen as well, just kind of... Maybe Nidoqueen, but not necessarily entirely. But the main one's for Emboar. Emboar, I think, is definitely going to be Banded or Scarf this game. So being able to protect the Scout the move he goes for will basically decide, do I go into Slowking or do I go into Rhydon? It's, you know, that sort of a thing. So, yeah. Good stuff there from Blissey. Next up here we got Gardevoir. His team really struggles with Mega Gardevoir. He's not got a lot of the answers for it. I'm rocking a Psychic, Hyper Voice, Hidden Power, Ground, and Heal Bell. Hidden Power Ground is there for Magnezone after a Hyper Voice. Depending on spread it, HP Ground may be able to pick it off the following turn, which is nice. Unless he has some sort of Scarf variant, which I gotta be careful of. I'm thinking maybe he might bring some sort of Scarf trapping Magnezone to trap my Scizor. So I gotta watch out for that. The Heal Bell is just nice to get rid of things like Toxics on my Slowking and Rhydon, which you're gonna see my Slowking here in a bit. So yeah, it's good stuff there. The speed. 164 is enough to outspeed, I think it's max speed Nidoqueen, I believe. Yeah, I didn't decide to tier to Kyurem, because like I said, I don't think he was going to bring it. And even if he does bring Kyurem, I still have some bulk, and I can take an Ice Beam alright. He doesn't have any Dragon moves, and I can just go into Blissey anyway if need be, so I didn't really fear that. Also, the Rotom as well, I figured he'd have not a lot of speed in there, so I should be fine there. But yeah, this is also my main answer to things like Umbreon, which can just instantly scare this thing out with a Hyper Voice. So no matter what variant of Umbreon he runs, Hyper Voice will 2-hit KO it. So yeah, good stuff there. Next up here we got Scizor. My main switching to Delmise. Forgot to mention this. His switch-ins to Gardevoir, though, he does have a few switch-ins. He has the Magnezone, like I mentioned. He also has a Delmise, which he could run max HP, max speed F AV, and all Hyper Voice will do about 30-ish%. So I am anticipating some sort of defensive set from Delmise to come this week, so my switch in that is going to be Scizor. I can defog off the hazards, I can roost up with my leftovers to try and get some health back, and I can U-turn out versus Delmise and risk a switch, and I got Bullet Punch there, just for priority in the late game if need to be. Rocking a lot of speed. This speed is in case Zone is not Scarf and he wants to try and trap me. I will outspeed any variant of Zone unless it is Scarf, which is nice. I can U-turn out from it. Also, it catches things maybe like a slow Rotom or a slow Nidoqueen off guard. It can maybe get that first hit off, which could be crucial in the game. So, yeah, also could outspeed Prim if need to be. Just, yeah, good stuff all around from my Pinsir. Pretty standard set there, to be honest. Next up here, one of my win cons this week, going to be Weavile. Rocking Knockoff, Ice Shard, Low Kick, Sword Stance with the Titanium Z. Enough speed to outspeed max speed Cincino, rest and do attack and HP. I don't know how it's going to work this week. I opted, like, another set I was debating was just not even Sword Dance, just putting Poison Gem on there, or putting Crash. And in hindsight, I've actually recording this before after I'd done the battle. Probably should have put Crash on there, but still, it's still an alright set here. If I get a Sword Stance up and this team and Rocks are up and his team's weakened, this thing can just win outright. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. The Titanium Z low kicks there mainly is there just in case Umbreon gets out of hand. I am kind of fearing Umbreon, as you can tell, so, like, if Gardevoir goes down, this, besides, like, Scizor, which only has U-turn, I can't really deal with Umbreon, so I need to have something for Umbreon, so I opted for Low Kick. I feel like Prim I can deal with things like Blissey, and then Gardevoir, which outspeeds it anyway, so, yeah, good stuff there, and also Slowking can somewhat deal with it, too, so, yeah, good stuff here from my Weavile. And last but not least here, we got Slowking. Rocking Leftovers Generator with the bit of a weird set. I kind of regret running this. I think I should run something a bit more standard. But it could win if he brings the correct team for it. Rocking Calm Mind, Slack Off, Side Shock, Focus Blast. The only coverage I really need versus team is Side Shock, Focus Blast, which is why I kind of wanted to run this. He hit everything on his team. At least neutral with this spread. So I didn't really see the reason not to run it. If I get a few Calm Minds up, there's not a lot he can do about it. And he's got to send something like Pincer. But this comes up when the Pincer's already dead. Rotom's, like, Volt Switches won't be doing anything. Nidoqueen won't be touching me. Kieran won't be touching me once I get a few Calm Minds up. It's going to require Delmise, Pincer, Delmise and Pincer and Zone to be weakened for this set to really work. But I think we can do it if we play it correctly. So, yeah, that's my team. I didn't opt to bring a few things here. I didn't bring Zygarde because Umbreon's just so annoying. Like, there's really no Zygarde set that can beat Umbreon, per se. If he just runs like Foul Play, Heal Bell, there's not a lot I can do. I mean, maybe it'd be kind of hard to stall it out, so yeah, and as I boost up, he just looks Foul Play, and he's starting to do more damage to me. Like, it just didn't really look good this game, to be honest. Rotom Heat, I just didn't really like this game. Let's see, Torrent, I didn't really like it. Toxicroak, didn't really see need for it, and then Leafeon, just didn't really see need for it. Basically, I mean, I could have bought the Mons, but these 6 Mons here, had a role, and I needed certain Mons to fulfill certain roles, and these are the Mons that do it. Other Mons would be great to run. I would have loved to bring things like Zygarde and Croak, but it's not for me. This matchup wasn't a matter of they didn't have a bad matchup. It was just these Mons are more needed. So anyhow, I'm gonna jump into the replay of the game. We're gonna go over it. So yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, we are back with the battle now, and as you see here, here's Avocado's team. He brought his Mega Pinsir, Primarina, Delmise, Mesprit, Rotom Wash, and the Emboar. So, yeah, I mean, not exactly what I was expecting. I predicted pretty much 4 out of the 6. I thought Prim was a possibility, but didn't really think about it too much. I definitely was surprised not to see Nidoqueen, Umbreon, and Magzone. I definitely thought 2 of those 3 would come over the Prim, and especially the Mesprit. I was a bit surprised to see the Mesprit, to be honest. I wasn't really sure what it was going to be. But if I have to assume things from the start here, I'm going to assume that he's likely Rocks on the Mesprit. He's got no other rockers, so, well, I guess Pinsir, but that's not going to be using Stealth Rock this game likely. So I'm thinking if he has Rocks, it's going to be on Mesprit, which is good to know. And yeah, it's really looking like that Emboar or Rotom's going to be Scarf, most likely. I don't really anticipate Prim to be Scarf. It could, but don't anticipate it, and I think maybe Mesprit could, but it wouldn't really be that offensively scary. So I didn't really talk about this in the team builder here, but I am going to lead off here with my Gardevoir. I think Gardevoir just has the strongest lead versus his team. And I really anticipate him doing the Rotom lead, because Rotom catches a few things off guard. It catches the Rhydon in a tricky spot, and it catches the Blissey in a tricky spot. The Blissey, you might be like, why is that such a tricky spot? If he does have Trick, it is a little bit worrying if he's some sort of Scarf set here. So, yeah, I am here going to lead with my Gardevoir, try and get some momentum, and just hit something hard straight away. Whether it be the Prim, the Mesprit, or the Rotom, I get to quick Hyper Voice turn 1, and we get to bop something. So, as you're going to see here, I'm going to lead off with my Gardevoir, as he was off to lead with his Rotom Wash here. So, good stuff for me, turn 1. Based on this turn, though, based on the damage calcs I've done in the past, before this lead, I know that Rotom is going to be taking about 80-ish% from his Hyper Voice if he's just max HP, no Speed F, which is really good damage on it. And if he's got no HP at all, he potentially just dies. So I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice here, as I do think he's just going to switch into his Delmise. That being his check to this thing is only checking to bring Zone, so Delmise is the only potential check to this thing that I can see. So I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice. As you're going to see, he actually is going to opt to stay in here and take this hit. It's going to do 78%, so really good damage there. It's going to reveal to me that he is, in fact, max HP, no Speed F, which is good. He's going to go to Volt Switch straight at the Emboar, and that damage reveals he's got no special attack either, if any, could be very little as well. So he's going to go out to Emboar here. I've all the reasons to leave the thing Scarf, and I don't want to risk my my Gardevoir at this point, so I'm going to go out to my Designated Check being Slowking. If he clicks Wild Charge, fair play. I know I can live a Banded Wild Charge from full, so that's really nice. So here I'm going to go out to my Slowking, And he's going to go for that Wild Charge, but it's only going to do 51, which reveals to me that he's not a boosting item. So at this point, I'm thinking Scarf. I think Scarf Ember makes the most sense, like I did kind of say earlier. And this next Wild Charge could be a roll. If he gets a high roll, he could kill me. I don't want to risk that. So I'm going to go here, pull switch on my Rhydon. If he doesn't want to risk that roll, I get a lot of momentum. But he is going to opt to pull the switch here and go out into his Mesprit as I do switch myself into Rhydon. So we're just going to trade Toxics and, well, I'm going to trade Toxic and Rocks. He gets his Rocks up, which is okay. I want the Toxic thing first because I didn't know what it was going to do. But he's going to go for U-turn here as he's going to go hard into his Delmise. And this turn I do set my Rocks, which is good. And now here I'm going to go into my Scizor, which is my designated check to this thing. As he's actually going to reveal the knockoff, which I forgot this thing got now. It gets knockoff, so a bit annoying there. We lose our lefties. That's fine though. I'm going to go for Roost here, as he's going to go for his own spin, which is perfectly fine. And this turn I am going to go for the Defog to get rid of the hazards on my side, being that there's no hazards on his side. I don't want hazards on my side. He's going to go for knockoff again, maybe predicting a switch there of some sorts. Not entirely sure. But yeah, this entire exchange was a bit weird because I don't really want to switch out. And I don't really want to click U-turn to switch out because I don't know what he's going to go out into or when he's going to switch. You might just want to stay in. But as you're going to see, so this turn I just had a quick Bullet Punch because I want to get some damage off on this thing. I'm figuring he's staying in versus me, so it's getting a bit weird here. I'm going to go for Bullet Punch. He's actually going to switch out with the Eject button, however, and go into his Emboar. So a bit weird to see that, to be honest. Eject button, Delmise. So I know at this point, he's not AV, so Gardevoir kind of just shreds his team if I can get it in freely. So get it in versus like the Rotom or Mesprit, or even the Prim, I kind of just start to wreck his team. So yeah, that's good stuff there. But he's going to go to Emboar here on that, and I'm going straight out into my Slowbro or Slowking again. Can't risk anything else. He's going to go for Superpower though. It's going to only do 22, which is nice. Further to mean that he's likely Scarf, which is nice here. I'm going to go for Psyshock, but he's actually he's going to switch this turn. Sorry. And go out into his Delmise. I'm getting ahead of myself as I go out into my Gardevoir. So that turn, I was hoping to catch the Mesprit or Rotom on the switch. I figured he might go Rotom then to get some momentum, or get like a Pain Split off versus me. And also he might go Mesprit again, try and get his Rocks up. He has to go into this thing, probably predicting to switch into Rhydon that following turn. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, this Hyper Voice here, because he's at 78, if he's max HP no split F, it is a roll. I don't really want to risk that, so I'm going to pull switch out into my Scizor, not wanting to risk it, but he's actually going to opt to switch himself and go out into his Rotom. So bit annoying there, but that's okay. We move on. And I'm going to go for a U-turn here. There's a chance that, well actually no, if he's max HP, max defense, there's no chance it kills, but if he's like no defense, then I could maybe kill. There's also a chance I outspeed with my speed investment. So I'm going to go for the U-turn here, and if it's a slow U-turn, he clicks Volt Switch, I get momentum. That was the idea, clicking U-turn here, but as you're going to see, he actually opts to go for the Will-O-Wisp and burn my Scizor, which is a little bit unfortunate, as I do click U-turn, but this means I guess I go straight out into my my Gardevoir again, and just click Hyper Voice and claim my kill. So, good stuff there, to be honest. Like, I mean, I could have stayed, like, had I stayed in with Gardevoir versus the Delmise, like, that means my Scizor isn't burned, but it's just the way it is, man. It's how it goes. I couldn't risk the roll. He probably just figured it killed, which it was pretty much in my favor, but I couldn't risk Gardevoir at this point. It breaks his team, and it puts a lot of pressure on things, so I wanted to keep this thing healthy and keep it safe, but we're going to kill the Rotom here. He's just fighting out the Pinsir. I'm going straight out in my check, being my Rhydon, not wanting to risk anything, as he's just going to go for that return. Deal only 17%, which is good to see. And I'm going to go for Rock Blast here, predicting him potentially to stay. I wasn't sure if he was going to stay in there, but basically the reason I clicked Rock Blast there was because if he did have CC, potentially 2 CCs could kill my Rhydon, and I didn't want to risk that. So I have to go for Rock Blast there in case he wanted to stay in and try and go for the 2-hit KO on my Rocks, which would have been pretty good for him if that's what he opted to do. So I wanted for Rock Blast there to play it safe. I got 2 hits on this thing, it's fine. I believe this turn here we are just going to trade Rocks, though. I think that's what we do. Or he goes... No, I actually pull a switch out into my Scizor there. The reason I pull a switch out in the Scizor here is because I figure this turn I can go for the I think I go for Defog here first. But I figured that if he didn't set rocks that turn, and he showed like a coverage move, I can click a U-turn this turn, get some momentum back into the game, and try and get in the Gardevoir once again. But he's going to go for rocks. So I do think this turn I do go for the defog, or maybe I pull, maybe I do the, I can't fully remember what I do this turn. I think that I do U-turn this turn, predicting the Emboar switch, and I managed to get out into my Slowking, to then fire off a Psyshock here, and get some good damage on something. He goes out the Mesprit again, that's perfectly fine. He gets to take toxic damage, but he's actually going to opt to go for a Wisp there, which is a little weird to see Wisp on this thing. Now, you might have been predicting like the Rhydon switch or something like that, I don't know. It was also a bit of a middle ground play, but he does live that Psyshock, which I think it would have been better for him to just switch that turn, because as you're going to see, he's going to opt to switch now. So had he just switched the first turn, like, it would be the same thing, but you get 20% off on this thing, which guarantees that Gardevoir does kill this thing with Hyper Voice, which is really nice. I'm going straight out into my Scizor again, which is my check to this thing, my only check. I was going to go for Shadow Claw. It's going to do 34 and put me pretty low to the point where I pretty much have to Roost, but this is where things get a little bit tricky, as he's going to go hard out into Pinsir, and I do click Roost. So this is where things get a little bit tricky, because this Pinsir's in, and it pretty much claims a kill, and like I said, with the Rocks up, there's a chance that close combat 2 it KOs my Rhydon, and I don't want to risk that. So what I'm not going to do, I'm just going to sack my Pinsir. If he does overbreak and click close combat, I'm clicking U-turn this turn, so I can potentially get out and get into my Rhydon, so I don't have to take a second hit, which could be crucial. So I'm going to go for the U-turn this turn, but he is just going to click return and absolutely destroy my face, which is fine. Scizor did okay this game. I think I could have played it better, though. As I'm going to try my Rhydon here, and this is the turn where I'm going to set my rocks. I want to force a spin from this Delmise again, as we can do here. So what I figured here was I'm going to go hard out to Weavile. It took a bit of time to debate this turn, but I'm going to go hard out to Weavile. And the reason I'm going to Weavile this turn is one of the things I could spin, but two, even if he kills me this turn, even if he kills my Weavile, I get to go straight out to Gardevoir again, and then get a kill. So then it's 4-4. He's forced to sack this thing, which means it takes pressure off of things like Blissey and also Slowking to just try and win the game. So that's what I was going for here. I figured even if he killed my Weavile, it's perfectly fine. He'd have to click something like Anchor Shot or something to really kill me, but he's going to go for a spin there, which is good. And because I didn't know this thing spread at this point, and I thought I was assuming he just had Spit F investment, or some sort of Spit F investment, I figured knockoff here should guarantee kill. That's my hardest move to hit this thing, so I'm going to go for a knockoff here. But because I don't want to hit Wiscam clicking Anchor Shot, I mean, he's killing me. But as you're going to see, two bad things happen. One, knockoff doesn't kill, and he goes for Shadow Claw and crits me. So, but basically what this reveals to me is, one, that this Delmise was actually max defense, which makes sense, I guess, because of the team constructed, because he doesn't have a Zygarde switch in, so I guess this was his Zygarde switch in. Although I will say, Delmise isn't a Zygarde switch. I could have easily made a set to beat Delmise with Zygarde easily, but it's fine. But also, he went for Shadow Claw there, not wanting to risk the Power Whip miss, because I don't think he had Anchor Shot. I think he had Power Up as his last move, or yeah, Power Whip as his last move, and no Anchor Shot. So, and he crits me with the Shadow Claw, which means that this Weavile dies on entry to rocks. Now, he's not crit me there. I get one more switch in, which is really nice, because as you can see, I'm forced to pretty much sack Weavile at this point, which really didn't do anything. But I'm going to go for a knockoff here, as he's actually going to opt to sack off his Mesprit, which is perfectly fine. The reason he did that was because he wants the Delmise in case he needs to spin at some point to make sure rocks aren't up for the Pinsir. But Mesprit's going to go down, which is fine. And he's going to go here into his Pinsir. So this was a tough turn for him, because he couldn't go out. He can't go out to Emboar, because I'm just going to click Ice Shard. He can't go out to Delmise. He either has to go Prim, or he has to go out into his Pinsir. And he couldn't go Prim, because he didn't know enough about this spread. I could easily be Poison Jab. He just couldn't risk it. So he has to go out to Pinsir here. I'm just going to show him Ice Shard and get some damage off. That's all I can do. He's going to do 45, which is okay damage, as he's going to go for Quick Attack and pick me off, in case I didn't click Ice Shard there. But this turn, again, I'm going to shut my Rhydon, and this is where things start to turn around for me a little bit. He's going to go hard out into his Delmise as I set rocks. So this turn was big. Like I mentioned in the team builder, I put 4 extra speed points into my Rhydon, and this Delmise has no speed investment. I will outspeed him here. There's a good chance he goes for spin here, making sure that this pincer doesn't come in at 5%. So I figured he's going to want to spin. And so, for example, if he is faster than me, the worst case scenario, right, is he clicks Power Whip and kills my Rhydon. But then I can go out into Gardevoir and just claim my kill. And then that means Emboar can never switch in again, which takes pressure off of Slowking and also Blissey, to the point where I think Blissey can beat these two, which means also that that it's still in my favor. And that's also if he clicks Power Whip. That means he has to click Power Whip or something to kill my Rhydon this turn. That's what he would have to do. So he has to land a Power Whip. If you click Spin, Rocks are gone, which means Emboar's still alive, but this thing's dead. I still have Rhydon at like probably 64 HP. He'd have to go Emboar the next turn, whereas then I just go Slowking. So in theory, it didn't really matter here, but as you're going to see, the 4 speed points do come in clutch, and we're going to outspeed the Dhelmise, which is really good to see, as he's going to go out into his Prim here. So at this point, we're in a really good spot because we outsped there. The Prim is like the only viable, well, I say only viable member of it's the only mon that really has HP left. The Emboar's dead on entry now, it can't remove hazards, and the Pinsir comes in at 5%, so one attack from anything is going to kill it, which is really nice. I'm going to save my Rhydon, of course, and what the hell? And go out into my bit of showdown lag there. I'm going to go out into my my Blissey there, and just kind of just do some bit of stalling, to be honest. Don't really like to do this, but it's, you know, it's what I have to do at this point. I'm just gonna I'm really just kind of gonna exchange some Scalds, exchange some Seismic Tosses. I think I'm gonna soft boiled once. I think the next turn I soft boiled because I want to make sure this Blissey is at somewhat respectable HP, so I can maybe live a return from Pinsir. If he has CC, I'm pretty much dead, but I want to make sure I can maybe live a return. And if not, I can go out to Rhydon, and it comes down to if I can just hit a Rock Blast. I'll pretty much have 2 chances. And also, then, does Pinsir have a move to just Oko Slowking? That's also what it's going to come down to. But, yeah. He also really Reflect on his Prim, which I mean, I don't know if he was dual screens, but Reflect's interesting. I guess it makes sense if he's like, I mean, he's like really scared of Zygarde, to be honest. But yeah, we're just going to exchange these hits here. Not really doing much to each other. You know, just tossing back. I probably should have sped this up, but I didn't. I'm just going to try to kill him here. He was in torrent range, so I just want to make sure I get the kill there. We're going to be at 63%. He's just going to send in his Emboar, which will die to the rocks, which is good. And if he has return, it's a roll to kill me. If he has CC, I'm dead. He's going to go out here and do his Pinsir. I'm just going to click Seismic Toss. And he's going to opt to go for a return there. I'm going to live on 3%. And we're going to pick off the Pinsir with the Seismic Toss. So we pick up a nice 4-0 win there versus Avocado. GG, man, you played really well, I thought. I think it really came down to a few things. I think the pressure of Gardevoir was too much early. Like, he pretty much just lost. Like, this Rotom wasn't even effective. All the Rotom did was burn my Scizor, which my Scizor wasn't even effective this game. I just think my defensive core this game of Rhydon, Blissey, Slowking was just really solid versus his team. And he didn't really have a combination of mons that could really take it out. Blissey just shut down all his special mons, and so he had to really rely on things like Pinsir and the Emboar, which Slowking and Rhydon both effectively do really well there. So yeah, that's pretty much what it came down to. I played Weavile kind of poorly, to be honest. I kind of played my offense, besides my Gardevoir early, I played it pretty poorly, to be honest. But yeah, that's the way it is. I played Rhydon really well. So I think Rhydon's mainly what won me this game, to be honest. Setting rocks, toxicing things, getting the crucial kill on the Dhelmise. That was huge. And just being a switch into Pinsir and taking pressure off my team from the Pinsir is just really good. So yeah, GG to Avocado. We're going to move to 1-0 with a +4 differential in my division, which is really good to see. Good way to start off the season. And yeah, we're going to look to go on from here. We go up against Black Hammer next week, another new coach, so exciting stuff there. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully next week will be a live com. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.